Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to another StarCraft cast. Today I have got some games from Zenio. It's from the Razor Replay Pack of the Week. Let me introduce the two players. The map of course is going to be Antigua Shipyard. In the top position as the Blue Zerg we do have representing Team Liquid. It is Zenio. And his opponent in the right position, the Red Zerg, needs no introduction. It is of course playing for Team Incredible Miracle. It is NesTea. So ZvZ, possibly one of my favourite Zerg players being NesTea. I am so excited to see what they're going to do, and I really hope you are all really looking forward to it as well. So Antigua Shipyard is one of those fun maps. It is on the close spawn positions, so this was clearly a game from a little while ago. It is forced cross spawns now, but what does that mean? In ZvZ, it doesn't matter too much because it's unlikely we'll get into a position where we see a third base. It does happen. I mean, it's getting more and more common, but the thing is, on Antigua, this third base for NesTea is a little bit awkward because there's a really close rush distance here and you can run into some issues. So most likely going to be some kind of two-base play, or mainly aiming to be some kind of two-base play from these two. So whether that comes in the form of a lot of bling aggression, we'll wait and see. But for the moment, we've got no spawning pool down yet. May both go for hatch first. They're going to be unaware, or at least are currently unaware, that they are in the close positions, so therefore they are both going to get down that hatchery fairly early on, and as a result of this, we are aiming towards a bit more of a macro game. But it all comes down to the gas timings. That's what you need to be looking for. No gas, or at least just one gas, means that actually I'm not going to be pushing too quickly towards tech. Once the one gas comes down, then you're just checking whether the drones stay in it or not. If you keep 3 drones in gas, then that just means that I'm going to be going towards bling, getting my roaches out quickly, and generally being aggressive against you. If you see it pulled out, it means that actually I could be going for a lot of speedlings early. I could be trying to take some greedy bases. I could be doing a lot of things, but one thing you don't have to worry about is banelings or roaches for the near future, and as such, you're probably pretty safe if you just get a few defensive banes. Now, as we can see, both players getting down their gas, both players getting down their pools. The gas was slightly sooner for Zenio, the pool slightly sooner for NesTea, so in that regard, these two are looking pretty similar, just very minor differences in their play for the time being. Obviously, both players have scouted each other out. We see the NesTea getting a good read off. We'll know from the time of that spawning pool that hatchery is down. You don't even need to scout that to make deductions such as those. So, these two, fully aware of what could be going on. We do see that Zenio is getting close to that 100 gas mark, and this is where you've really got to start looking what happens with the drones in gas. Are they pulled? Are they kept? The double queen production going on for both players. We are getting very near now the deciding moment. NesTea has sent the Overlord over to the natural base, needs to get it out of there just in case a queen comes out, which is very soon indeed. Zenio has now started speed, keeps all 3 drones in gas, so now we're just keeping an eye out for when the baning nest comes down. A likely position that baning nest will be around here, to be honest. I actually saw something click over there, so considering he's got enough money, ooh, he's not going to chuck it down as part of the wall off. He's going to put it in the main base. That's quite interesting by itself. So is NesTea going to try and counter this? Is he going to get his own baiting nest down? Is he just going to tech straight up? Well, he's pulled 1 drone out of gas, so his timings are going to be a little bit different. He does have speed on the way and also has quite a lot of gas. So there comes down the Roach Warren, skipping bailings out completely, pushing this to what is arguably the 3rd phase of ZvZ, which is phase 1, lots of Zerglings, phase 2, bling, phase 3, whoever has the most roaches. So NesTea taking a bit of a risk here, because if Zenio puts on a lot of bling pressure, which we can see by just the pure numbers of Zerglings coming out now, seems a likely possibility, then you've got to be a little bit careful. Roaches in small numbers do not deal well against lots of Zerglings. You've got to get a critical mass of roaches before you can engage cost effectively there. So this is something that will be a little bit concerning for NesTea. Once he sees these speedlings coming across the map, he instantly produces some more Zerglings of his own, ready to take the defender's advantage. He should be fine to hold, just as there isn't too many Zerglings here, but this 3rd hatchery, the greedy 3rd hatchery trying to come down from NesTea, is going to be forced to cancelled almost certainly. We see the damage getting done here, a couple of speedlings coming in, but forcing the cancel is great news for Zenio at the moment. NesTea, he's got to work out, actually, this is quite a bit of aggression. I need to be careful. Some banelings spotted there. Pulling back, you're going to need to be really, really well controlled, using those queens in order to snipe off the banelings as they move in, because otherwise your zerglings are going to get taken out. But for the moment, Zenio pulling back, playing a bit more defensive. He's getting up the Evolution Chamber and Roach Warren, also the Spine Crawler and Lair. So going towards the later game tech. NesTea really wants this third base though, and feels confident to take it now, due to having these roaches out. And this is a really minor thing that I really want to highlight. NesTea running the roaches against the wall to reduce the surface area that the zerglings could attack with. That is a very small maneuver that is going to make those roaches a lot better against any speedling attacks, and something that you should really try and apply to your own games if you can. Now what NesTea's getting up here is the third and fourth gas. We do have all four gas, or three gas rather, up and running for Zenio at the moment. Hasn't taken his fourth yet, but is now getting his third. But as we can see, quite a lot later than the third base that NesTea's been taking. So as a result, we should be in a relatively comfortable spot as NesTea. We're going to be able to get a good economy. If we take a look at the work account, it's very equal for the time being, but once this third hatch gets into play, that's when things start going into NesTea's favour momentarily, assuming damage isn't done, and that is something that could very well be coming out now. We do see NesTea scouting the banelings, scouting all of this aggression coming up. The roaches pulling back. There's a good count of roaches now. They need to focus down on sniping off the banelings, allowing the speedlings to survive and engage well. But Zenio, he's really trying to contain NesTea at the moment, but this third base is now up. The extra production is going to help significantly. Roach speed is on its way down now for Zenio. For NesTea has not yet been started, and that is the important thing, because once roach speed comes down, you can start being a lot more aggressive, you can get better attack angles, you can poke in, retreat, and generally get better map control. So that is something we'll hopefully be seeing out of Zenio, because he does have a good 80-second advantage in terms of when that roach speed will finish up. Zenio, though, is going to be slightly behind in the missile attacks. The infestation pick coming down, though, so teching is great news. But Zenio looks like he's trying to get a good attack angle, getting a little read off, and what does my opponent have? Can I engage into this? Correctly reading that no, not yet, I can't. I'm going to just wait for some more reinforcements, some more roaches to come across. I do have roach speed now, trying to get a good angle, but as we can see, NesTea is spread out, but here he goes. Zenio trying to engage as best he can, trying to focus down the queens. One queen nearly dies, but does manage to survive, and Zenio came off a lot worse than that engagement, and that was not a good engage at all. And of course, NesTea is now feeling very confident, getting an awful lot of roaches out. Zenio, though, a good 8 workers ahead, which is quite significant at this stage of the game. But NesTea, 28 roaches, with 5 more still in production. He is going to be really pulling forward in terms of what he can do. But Zenio, he's droning, he's got his third base up, he's slowly trickling out those drones as he goes along, starting the +2 missile attack as well. NesTea about to get roach speed to kick in though, and at which point they will actually be looking pretty level. This infestation pit has not started pathogen glands yet. However, that isn't a problem because NesTea doesn't have an infestation pit of his own quite yet. Just instead getting +2 missile attack. Both these players really committing to a roach heavy style as opposed to going to tech heavy. Zenio now just starting that pathogen glands upgrade. These two both being very defensive for the time being. Zenio just skirting that overseer around the edge of the map, trying to get a quick look. What's the drone count like? This is the most important thing you're going to be checking as a Zerg player in a ZvZ is what is my opponent doing in terms of their lava? Where is it getting spent? Do they have more units than me? Do I need to start producing? And well, the answer is we've got NesTea streaming across the map now. Going to come into the side, engaging quite a lot of Zenio's forces when they are not ready for it. Gets a little bit of damage off there, but all in all, the roach count 42 to 35, so this does favour NesTea. The upgrades are exactly equal, 1-0 against 1-0. Even the queens now waddling their way across, a lot of energy for transfusing there, and that is going to be good news for NesTea. And I don't even think that Zenio has vision of this. He does now realise that this is coming through and will try and reposition his army. He needs to stay as spread out as he can, trying to get the better attack out. If he can just hold off till these infestors come, he will be in a much better spot. But as we can see now, roaches moving forward, and this is a small group of roaches actually. Got to be careful, trying to pick this off, but there goes the absolute money fungal. Such a good attack arc right there for Zenio, and with more infestors coming in, more fungal growths coming down, this is an absolutely brilliant engagement for Zenio right now. NesTea is going to take such massive losses trying to transfuse as fast as he can, but the problem is those fungal growths just stop so many of NesTea's roaches from being able to engage, and Zenio has very comfortably won this engagement, getting another fungal growth, preventing the retreat of more of NesTea's roaches. And as such, Zenio came off very nicely there. 2,000 more resources lost for NesTea compared to Zenio at the moment, and when you take into account that Zenio has been ahead in the drone count, albeit by a little for a long period this game, well, if you're losing more and getting less income in, and you don't have as much tech, then you're not in a solid spot. So NesTea, getting down the Hydroden, getting down the macro hatch, really trying to ramp up the production, but in comes Zenio with those infestors, with an awful lot of roaches, 2-0 upgrades on either side, and as such, this is going to be all down to the fungal growth usage. What can Zenio do? Well, he's going to try and snipe off one of those queens with just a few roaches. Gets a couple of roaches for free here as well. The queen goes down at the third. That's going to hurt NesTea's production. But in come the units. Where are the fungal growths? Well, infested Terrans going down for the time being with not enough energy, but they're just going to allow extra DPS. NesTea has got no choice but to engage here. And there is the GG. And we do see Zenio take down NesTea in what was a beautiful engagement at his own base with those great fungal growths, the timing absolutely perfect. So if you did enjoy, everyone, make sure that you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe, and I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new game. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.